Hey y'all, I've probably spent about 6 hours, maybe more, on a video about like content creators fearing their community or just fearing online, I guess, in general. And then I hated it. So this morning I got a bit of an inspiration of something else that I wanted to talk about. I've been thinking about it for a while and watching content, kind of talking about this kind of thing for a while. Moms who are feeding their children garbage, whatever. And I have thoughts on this. There's a particular account someone was talking about this morning, and this one just really kind of set me off, to be honest. I don't know if I will share the TikTokers like at or whatever. I was actually watching some of her TikToks, and I want to say I'm not going to share her on here because I really don't want people going and just looking at her daughter. Like, that's the main reason why. Because look, I'm not going to say why. I don't want anyone going and looking at her child. So I'm not going to share any videos or her at or anything like that on TikTok. But I was watching some of her TikToks, and she likes to tag it as a prank. And she will sometimes make a plate for her and say it's for her daughter, and then be like, just kidding, And people like to be like, I looked, blah, blah, blah. This is rage bait. I wish everyone knew this was rage bait. You can look at her child, though, and tell that she's not feeding her right. Like, you can look at her child and tell that she is eating this stuff and drinking soda. Like, it's not rage bait if you're actually doing the wrong thing. Haha, look at me pretending to do this wrong thing. Haha, just kidding. Here's evidence I actually do wrong thing. You want to see it? You want me to put it in your face? It's your child. You're gross. You're disgusting. I don't know if I will post any of the TikToks on the screen, honestly, because like a lot of them have her daughter in it. But she has a 1-year-old daughter, and as someone else who has a 1-year-old who is about to be 2, I was a bit appalled. I'm gonna try to not be ugly in this video, as we say here in the South. And honestly, it's not like I don't get giving your kids something that they shouldn't have here and there. I have no lies to tell. I've done that, and I've been through some rough spots where it's not that I was feeding her garbage, but I wasn't putting in the effort that I had been or that I did after. I guess it gets to me so much because we had a child around the same time, and I don't know, maybe she's got other kids and she's younger than me. I don't know her entire situation. And honestly, I don't think her entire situation matters. It has been really easy to feed my child fruits and vegetables and meats and dairy and whole grains. It's like I said, sometimes, mental shit, and it's just not, it's just not there. And you might go a couple days and be like, oh, is my child going to be able to poop? Have I fed them enough real food with fiber? I mean, that's me. Honestly, it doesn't look like she has this problem. It looks like, maybe her daughter's body is used to the bad food. So, she doesn't get constipated. That would be my assumption. Or she just doesn't care if her child poops. I know that sounds like a strange thing if you're not a parent. And maybe if you're a parent, you don't pay attention to it. But like, if my daughter doesn't poop in a day, I'm like, what has happened? The walls are coming down. Editing crawling here. As someone with IBS, I know that there can be a medical issue and reason for this, and I don't mean that. I just mean like other than if there's a medical reason they're not pooping. So like, it's not like I don't get it, but like to the extent she seems to be feeding her daughter this stuff is crazy. And like, I think what really was like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. I'm done. I'm talking about it. Was the no reaction to soda. The video where you could see her daughter drinking soda with zero reaction and people being like, she's had that before. She has that all the time. What? And look, as far as like our generation of parents, I give them a lot of grace. I give my mom a lot of grace. My mom was a single mom. I had sodas. I don't remember having sodas like a lot at that. I don't remember being that age. What am I talking about? We don't remember being that age. Maybe you do. I don't. I think most people don't. But I find it highly unlikely that that young I was having soda. I do know when I at least have good memory of having a good amount of soda from 10 on. Like I was allowed to have unlimited amounts of soda as far as I can remember from 10 on up. For some of us growing up in my age range, we had maybe a single mom. You know, she did her best, and I really don't think that there was a whole lot of information about, you know, what you should be. I mean, I'm sure she could have asked my doctor what I should have been having, but I feel like to some degree that fear wasn't there yet of like eating garbage. I don't think it was as big as a topic, but now it is a huge topic online. Like what you should be eating as an adult, what your kids should be eating, and more importantly, what we shouldn't be eating. I guess is the best way to say it. Is like a big topic online, and I don't think you can be online and miss it. So like it's just you're reluctant to care. And for me, maybe this girl has never struggled with food, and if you've been here before, you know that I do and have. Looking at her child, I was probably like her child is sorry, she's overweight. She's for sure overweight. I kind of think you could go past that, but for sure overweight. Like for me personally, and I am going to be talking about myself a lot in this one, it's my channel and I have experience. So I don't think that I was overweight until I was, I want to say third grade. What's that, like 7? I don't know, something like that. 8. I wasn't actually overweight for a while as a child, even with having some not so nutritious foods in my life. To see a child that young, babies are chunky. I'm going to be honest with you. My 1-year-old is she's still chunky, but when she when she tags her video chunky baby, I don't want to laugh because it's haha funny, but it's interesting to say the least because like I have a chunky child, but I feel like chunky and overweight when it's that age, there's a difference, there's a line, and you can cross it. Like mine is chunky, but she is normal weight chunky because those kids that age are just typically chunky. They are. It's just a thing. I have been persistent, you know, because okay, so my story is I grew up overweight, had a big problem with food, still have a big problem with food. Some people would probably still say I'm overweight, which technically I am by a little bit. I could work on it. Actually, I do try to work on it. I have made massive strides in lifestyle changes over the past decade. So I have been obese, but I'm typically not obese, if that makes sense. Over the last decade, I have mostly not been obese. Over the last decade, I've been obese once. Obese, like, but I was pregnant. Look, I got pregnant. Okay, I have problems with food. I have a history of this, and I gave myself no reins. I gained 50 pounds. That's the story. But still to this day, I struggle with food. And so, again, maybe this woman does not. And so she doesn't understand that she needs to be looking out for her child in this way, but not even looking out. Like you're the one doing it. They eat what you give them. So it's not like you're looking out to make sure no one, someone's messing up my child's entire diet. I have been very persistent in trying to make sure, and it's not like I'm keeping her from experiencing these things because in the world, you see what I'm dealing with? That's crayons. In the world we live in, she is eventually going to get a hold of some soda, probably at school or someone's house or whatever. She's eventually going to get hold of Little Debbie's or Doritos or whatever. So it's not like I'd never let her have anything. She gets to have you ever heard the rule for adults? 90-10 or 80-20. You eat a 90 or 80% whole foods diet, and then 10 or 20% of that you can kind of have what you want. Her diet's like that. Now, let me preface that by saying for the first year, I was a real stickler, and she did not have anything that wasn't whole foods for the first year of her life. I simply would not allow it because I wanted her to develop a taste for real food, which I still struggle with today, and so does her father. Him more than me, because like I said, I've put the past decade into trying to make lifestyle changes, and I have made them. So it's a lot. Like I can just eat broccoli. I can just eat it. A lot of people, and it gets to me too. A lot of people say that they can't eat vegetables, and it's like, unless you're physically going to throw it up, yes. Like, and especially for me as a fat girl, I can chew and eat anything. Like it doesn't have to taste good. And it's so funny to me because, especially as someone who's been fat and struggled with food, I know that you have ate some raunchy ass fast food. I know you have. I know you have not warmed it up one time, or you have warmed it up and it made it taste 100 times worse than it did the first time. Like, I know you have ate some nasty shit. So you cannot tell me that you cannot chew broccoli. It does not taste like ass. It just doesn't taste like, okay? You don't need everything to taste like that. And you eat stuff that doesn't taste, okay. I'm going too far off topic here. It's something I have a lot of feelings about, if you can't tell. But like, looking at the diet that her child gets scares the shit out of me, because I have worried so much that I would give my daughter the same eating habits. And here's why it is so important what I did, and why it's so important that I keep feeding her at least an 80-20-90-10 diet. She has my eating habits. I mean, like, there was a really good chance she was going to get them. That girl could eat every moment of every day. You want to know why that's not as big a problem as it will be for me than it is for a mom like this, is because my daughter can eat whole foods, and she will. So if she's wanting to eat and eat and eat and eat, which I don't always give in to that, because, sometimes I'm just like, girl, you literally are not hungry, which I have to say that to myself. Again, she has my eating habit. But if I can give her fruits or vegetables or something like that to snack on, because she just seems to want to continuously eat, it's not as big a deal as it would be if it was chips. I mean, it's not going to pack on the pounds. If anything, it's just going to give her more nutrients for the day, which is great. So, and it's like, it makes me so mad. Do you know how hard it is to be fat? Especially growing up. Like, do not, first of all, to put that on your kids, because that's a mental thing and it's a physical thing. It was much harder for me to do physical activities than it was other kids. And so that's one thing. And then how you feel looking at yourself and with other people looking at you, that's another thing. But on top of those, there could be health issues that present along the way. Like, you want to have a 3-year-old that has health issues that a lot of 30-year-olds don't have. Well, they probably do now, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, why don't you care more? I don't get it. And it bothers me so much. It's not my kid. I'm aware of that. It's not my kid. Some of you probably think I should shut the fuck up, but it's her kid. It's her kid. As someone who has one, I guess I just can't understand not caring more about what I'm putting in their body. I really just wanted to rant about it, because, like, as someone who was not at that age, but was a bigger child, and as someone who has a child about the same age, it bothers me. It bothers me greatly, and I worry about kids in situations like this, because, like, I don't want them to go through what I went through, and their parents don't seem to care about that, and I don't know why. Like, I don't understand why you don't care. But if you have a kid, just ask what they're supposed to see. I asked for this yesterday because I'm about to be feeding an older child. She's about to have a birthday soon, and I wanted to figure out, what am I supposed to feed this children? Like, what exactly? And I probably won't do it exactly. Like, I've already decided they've got too many grains on this. Why would she need that much carbohydrates? She's not working out. She ain't buff. She ain't lifting weights. She ain't running 4 miles. So I'm already going to change the carbohydrates. I'll probably switch how much it says she should have the carbohydrates and the protein. just because personally I would rather her have more protein, and it's probably a good idea to ask before I do that. So I may ask her doctor before I do that. But I mean, just, I don't know, just not, if you have a child and you worry about it, just ask. I mean, I got a whole paper telling me what to do, and that makes it a lot easier. And you can get frozen fruits and vegetables, and you can get canned vegetables. I would not recommend canned fruits because a lot of the times they're canned with pure sugar, which if you have that in a pinch, you can just kind of rinse it with water and get a lot of that sugar off of it. It still won't be as good, but I mean, you can do cheap, easy, and convenient ways to feed your kids real whole foods, and I promise you it's a lot cheaper than it is to feed them garbage. It's easier, well, maybe not easier. I do have to put it in the microwave and warm it up. But it's a lot cheaper. And I do typically have to put the rest in Tupperwares for later. It's so hard. It's killing me. I had to open a can of vegetables, and I had to warm it up for my daughter, and I had to put it in the Tupperware and put it in the fridge. It was a lot of work. My back hurts now. Anyways, I'm going to quit being a smartass and get off here, but I just wanted to kind of rant to you guys because this bothers me. It pisses me off, to be quite honest. And I try not to be pissed off because I try to look at things from other people's point of view. And I have done that for a while now. And finally, I was like, enough's enough. I'm sick of hearing about this shit. And I'm going to keep hearing about it, and I'm aware of that. But I just wanted to talk about it because it's stupid and it doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't understand why someone doesn't care more. If you would like to like this video, that'd be great. If you'd like to subscribe, oh my God, we can be best friends. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not just kidding. Crayons. Do you want to be best friends? I technically already have a best friend. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it. We'll make plans. You guys have a good day. If you don't want to like or subscribe, I'll try again next time. Bye bye.